listen to me. As a parent, and I'm strictly speaking as a parent, your greatest return on investment will always be your children. Think about that. Not your job, not your bank account, not your achievements, but your children. And here's the reality. Society will either be better or worse because of how much attention we give to raising them. That's a fact. There's no way around that. And if we're not intentional about developing and guiding them, we're leaving their future to chance. And let me tell you something. Chance is a terrible parent. There's a scientific principle called the law of entropy, which says anything left to itself naturally moves towards disorder. And our children, without direction, without discipline and structure, they get distracted. They drift, they get lost, and influenced by a world that doesn't always have their best interests at heart. So let me ask you, are we raising them with purpose, or are we just hoping they figure it out? I was thinking about this the other day. The Bible says, train up a child in the way that they should go. But let's break that down. What does it really mean to train? It means to teach a skill or particular behavior through practice and instruction. Here's the key, over time. That means as parents, we just can't tell our kids what to do. We have to teach them skills. We have to model the right behavior, and we have to do it consistently over time. See, it's about equipping them with the right mindsets, the right habits and values through consistent action. Now, here's where it gets real. You can't train what you don't know. If we as parents aren't growing, if we're not learning new skills, improving our mindset and developing our character, then what are we really passing down? Because let me tell you something. If we don't teach our children, the world will. And trust me, the world has no shortage of teachers. Social media, friends, the internet, for some people, the streets, that will be who their teachers are if we're not. So as parents, we have to ask ourselves, are we really preparing our kids for life? Or are we just providing for them? The essentials, food, clothes, shelter. Because if all we do as parents is provide, then guess what? They'll come to us for food, but they'll go to the world for wisdom. And that's dangerous. See, we have to prepare them. We have to show them through action. We have all heard this saying at one point or another, actions speak louder than words. Kids don't just listen, they watch. Behavior is caught, not taught. We can't expect our kids to be disciplined if we lack discipline. We can't expect them to be respectful if we're constantly disrespecting others. And we can't expect them to chase their dreams if we've never been the one to chase ours. See, we're always on stage. Our children are always watching. So we have to act accordingly. That means if we want our children to be strong, if we want them to truly be confident and successful, we need to model that behavior first. We need to show them what faith looks like. We need to show them what integrity looks like. We need to show them what hard work looks like, because if they don't see it in us, then they won't believe in it for themselves. See, parenting requires extreme intentionality in everything that we do. It requires intentional training. And sometimes that can be exhausting. I get it. And we're going to get this wrong more times than we get it right. But that's the responsibility we've been given as parents. That's why the Bible says, train up a child in the way that they should go. So I've identified 5 areas where we need to be intentional if we want to train our children up in the way that they should go. Number 1, spiritual growth. Teaching them values, faith, and purpose. Our children need a foundation, a belief system that keeps them grounded. Without it, they'll be tossed around by every new trend, every popular opinion, and every outside influence. That's why we have to teach them faith, purpose, and values. Because if we don't, they'll look for their identity in the world, and the world will always tell them that they're not enough. And we can't have that. Number 2 is physical health. Instilling discipline, nutrition, and self-care. In a world full of junk food, instant gratification, and laziness, we have to teach our kids discipline over their body, what they eat, how they move, how they take care of themselves. Why? We've all heard the saying, health is wealth. And when kids grow up understanding discipline in their body, they'll apply that discipline to other areas of their life. Number three, mental strength, helping them develop emotional intelligence and critical thinking. We have to train our children how to think, not what to think, not to follow blindly, but to analyze, question, and discern. Because the world is filled with lies, manipulations, and distractions. If they don't know how to think critically, they'll fall for anything. Number four, financial wisdom, teaching them how to manage money and create wealth. We can't keep raising kids who have no idea how to manage money. We live in a world where financial literacy isn't taught in schools. So if we don't teach it at home, they'll enter adulthood clueless about how to save, how to invest, what to do with their money, and how to create wealth. The question you have to ask yourself is, if I don't teach them, who will? And number five, relational skills, showing them how to build strong relationships and communicate effectively. One of the greatest indicators of success is how well a person can build relationships. We have to teach our kids how to communicate, how to resolve conflict, and how to build strong friendships and partnerships, because character opens more doors than talent ever will. Listen, I'm not a guru. I'm not a parenting expert. I'm a parent just like you. But I'm passionate about mastering this responsibility. Every day I wake up excited to learn how I can get better, because our children deserve it. And if you're watching this video, I know you care too. See, parenting is not a solo sport. It takes a team. It takes a community. And if you've been feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, or just wanting more for your children, let's figure this out together. Join me on this journey. I'll be dropping videos like this every week on parenting, on growth, leadership, with a focus on training up a child in these 5 areas. And listen, I'm doing this partly to keep myself accountable. I want to continue to become a more intentional father, a more intentional parent. I want to get better at this every day. And if you feel the same way as a parent, you're in the right place. Because I truly believe if we do our part, our children can go out and they can be more, they can do more, and they can show the world exactly what they're capable of. So hit that like button, drop a comment, let's grow together. I'll see you in the next video.